that wore a uniform to do that. Sort of, the Constitution, becomes something that you're so committed to that party is a luxury. You know what I mean? You get that, but unfortunately in this country, the Republicans did read The Art of War, and they are applying some of the principles, and one of those is to divide your enemy. And they see the American citizenry, the whole of it, as their enemy.
Oh, of course. An engaged, informed citizenry is the enemy.
Yes, because it's going to put up a fight.
Complex.
That's right.
And so this is what I try to point out, is that we need to bring to bear the same, not in the same fashion, but again, the notion of divide and conquer.
Right.
We need to do that. We need to take a look at we need to understand our enemy. We need to carry out intelligence preparation of the battlefield. That means understanding America, the way it's structured today, the way it works, and to sit there and take a look at how the pro-war movement has imposed itself in an insidious fashion on our nation, and then sit there and say, okay, where are their weaknesses? Where are the chinks in their armor? And let's go after that.
Well, where are they? Because I will tell you that on the progressive side, it's like herding cats. Yeah. Because we're all very, independent-minded and very, some of us are stupid, I will say. Some of us are egomaniacs, I will say. Some of us are, we don't want to hear bunk about the Constitution. We think it's trite, and it's not. So we're like herding cats. But the other side, the pro-war side, is so in unison and lockstep. It's almost as if they've been to boot camp.
Well, and they have. They've been to ideological boot camp. They're very good at simplifying their message and repeating that message often, which is one of the, any advertisement specialists will tell you, that's the key. Get that message out there often, make it simple, and just repeat it.
So what is the kink in their armor, though? I mean, obviously they're hanging themselves. You give somebody enough rope, they will do that.
What I believe in is, rather than sitting here saying, what is the chink in their armor and trying to pick, you got to look at the total picture. And again, this is the approach I bring, I try to bring through the book, is to talk about, a systematic approach to waging ideological warfare. We need to know ourselves, our weaknesses, our strengths, what we can bring to the table. We need to know our enemy and study them. And then we have to engage. The chinks may not be identifiable. The chinks may only emerge once you actually engage in conflict. I talk about a guy named John Boyd, an Air Force colonel who, as an Air Force fighter pilot, he's the father of Marine Corps maneuver warfare, the concept of hitting the enemy where there ain't, bringing our strength to bear against their weakness. But he talks about something called the OODA loop, the decision-making cycle, and that's one of the great weaknesses of the anti-war movement, is decisive decision-making. He talks about, observing the enemy. Just observe them. Find out what they're doing. Well, orient on a given aspect of it, and then decide. There's a key thing. Make a decision, and then act on that decision. That's called the OODA loop. And if you can do that cycle quicker than your opponent, you're being proactive, forcing them to be reactive, and already we're a step up, because if you're reacting to somebody else's initiative, you're burning up so much energy, so many resources, etc. And that's what the peace and justice movement needs to do. That's why I focused in the book on, Cindy Sheehan and I, I know you interviewed the other, we don't agree on some things today.
I know that.
I will tell you this. Cindy Sheehan did the best preemptive attack this peace movement has ever done when she went to Camp Casey. What she did there, she knocked the pro-war movement on their feet. They were on their heels. They were reeling. And
the way I look at it is she was sort of the Rosa Parks, okay? She was the woman that said, no, I will not go to the back of the bus, and started a conversation in America. And now she's pretty much been trashed by both sides of the aisle, which is a huge chink in our armor that
I agree 100%.
That we eat our own. But I will tell you this. Here's where I see their opening. Here's where I see their the weakest link in their chain being. They have disdain for our troops that is so known now. They have disdain for law, and they have disdain for justice. The idea that we can, without a question or a shadow of a doubt in the minds of any American at this point out that they have treated our troops like crap is a unifying force in America.
Absolutely.
So, and their disdain for constitutional procedure and protections.
So basically what we're saying is that if Americans become the citizens they're supposed to be, the citizens they're empowered to be by the Constitution, and they wake up and say, this is who we are and what we are, they will find the pro-war movement repugnant. It's the most disgusting anti-American element out there today. These idiots who say, support our troops. They don't support our troops. They kill them, bring them home as cripples, and dump them off in a VA system that is rotted from the inside from neglect from a Congress.
They won't even give them combat training before putting them in combat.
It's all right. So but what did we just say? Therefore, what's one of the biggest assets the pro-war movement or the anti-war movement has? Veterans groups.
Obviously.
American Legion, VFW. Get out there and get the veterans to come with you and join us, not rejecting the military, but embracing the military.
Well, you're one of the smartest Marines I've ever had the pleasure of talking to and knowing, as tenuous as that is. But I think what's really missing in the anti-war movement is real leadership. I think you're very capable of this. And I'm cheering you on, I'm rooting for you, and any support you need. I mean, my Rosa Parks is Cindy Sheehan, and she's done, you're right, the most amazing job of changing the dynamic and moving the conversation. We need a leader. We need a serious leader to wage peace. I trust you can do this. I know your mettle. I know who you are, So I'm rooting for you, and I'm here for you anytime you need to get something organized or you need to get the word out. I'll be your subordinate in this.
Hey, we'll work together as a team. I think that's the approach. We'll all work as a team, and you know what? We got right on our side. That's what's going to make us prevail.
Oh, I was going to say you're right. Yes, we do. We have morality on our side. We have right on our side, and we have the Constitution on our side. And the crazy thing, we have the troops on our side.
That's right.
And their families. So go get them. I'm rooting for you. I hope people will go to the Women's Club of South Pasadena tonight and listen to Scott Ritter's ideas about waging peace in using the principles of how they wage war, but for peaceful purposes and without all the violence and chaos.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
Hey, thank you, Randy.
I'm rooting for you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.